And so here I am trying to be a good citizen of this world, trying to be a good host for my podcast that's going to be coming back soon, you know? And so I'm like, okay, there's a new group out, a new girl group. Let me check out their video, right? Let me check out their single. I click on the video, I watch it. And I was like, excuse me, what the heck am I watching?
Howdy, Meowers. Today we're talking about Kpop rookies.
K-pop rookies. And who exactly is we? Because I know who I am. I am me. That is Devin. But who are you?
I'm Bevel.
Bevel. Bevel? Bevel?
Yes, Bevel. You
Wow.
can call me any nicknames, but please do not call me Bev.
What a unique name. I would have never even dreamed of it, Bevel. Wait,
Thank
did you say
you.
we can call you names?
Nicknames, like,
Oh.
Bevy or something.
Oh, okay. Well, it's nice to have you here today, Bevel. And for anyone confused at home, read the description and then you'll get the whole Bevel name thing, okay? Well, I mean, it doesn't... I feel like I need to explain a couple of episodes every once in a while that, like, I do know who you are.
Yeah.
So, K-pop rookies, you say? What exactly does that entail?
Well, we're going to consider Kpop rookies like late 2021 to now because we want to talk about groups like Billlie and IVE, but also Nmixx and NewJeans. So we've got some late 2021 groups and also mid last year type of groups that we're going to be talking about today. But if you notice, we're only going to be doing girl group rookies today.
Yep, and because if you're a long-time listener of the old episodes, which stick around on YouTube for what we're going to be doing with those, we teased it in episode 1, and I'll tease it again here, even though we haven't done anything with it yet. But if you're a long-time listener, these are basically just groups that we have never talked about because of the break that the podcast had, in that amount of time. These are the groups that have come out, so we wanted to be able to discuss them, give our opinions on them and whatnot.
Right. So we're gonna just be going through everything from how we feel about their concept and their latest releases, anything that we might think of about some of these groups that are probably technically still considered rookies, but maybe some of them are past that. I don't really know. So first we're going to talk about Billlie because they debuted first.
That's Billie. Billlie.
Billlie, the village of perception.
Gets me every time. So, Billlie, like you said, they debuted first. So, let me guess, that was late 2021?
Yep.
Okay, and basically, I'm not a super follower of Billlie, so you're going to have to take the lead on this one. But I do know that Moonbin's sister is in Billlie.
That is correct. Moon Suwa is in Billlie. And she's only 1 year younger than Moonbin, and she's been training for a really long time. So, I feel like the fact that she had such a long training period is more, she wasn't just
authentic.
wanting to be in a group because she's, somebody who's already relevant sister.
Yeah, I don't know who that would be like, but maybe later in the episode I will remember.
All right. Well, anyway, Billlie is under Mystic Story, which is a subsidiary of SM.
Ooh, a
I'm pretty sure. I think I didn't just make that up in my head. I don't know.
Well, that's actually quite interesting, though. So it's would they be considered an SM group? No, they weren't at the SM concert thing that I watched somewhat recently in the past 3 months. But
maybe it's not a subsidiary, and it's somebody who is I feel like it's kind of like the Black Label to YG.
Okay,
but I don't know if it's...
definitely think of the Black Label being more connected to YG.
Yeah, I don't know if... I don't know if it's like, you know, the whole HYBE thing. I don't really know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We want to talk about the members. And we already said one of those members is Moonbin from Astro's sister, Sua. Another member was actually a contestant on Girls Planet. And so when they debuted, they only had 6 members because Girls Planet was still going on. But like Girls Planet had literally like, well, it like just finished. And so a week later, somebody from Girls Planet got added into the group. So now they have 7 members, and they've had
oh, you mean like not the Girls Planet show had just finished, like Girls Planet. Wait, no, I don't get it. But I don't get it.
Girls Planet the show, I don't know if it like had
because she didn't get in the group.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, Girls Planet finished. There was a person who was on Girls Planet, and she didn't make it into Kepler, which we will talk about, and so they added her into Billlie.
I understand. And who would that be?
Sean.
Oh, I don't really know her.
Sheon.
Sean.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Great.
But what we really want to talk about is their actual songs. They just released a new song.
Oh, like she was the only other relevant member?
Well, I mean, I guess they're all pretty relevant. Well, not all of them, but like
sorry.
It's okay. Go on.
I at first I thought you were going to go through all the members, but then you just stopped with her, and so now I'm realizing why you were doing that, because like they were the ones that were known from someplace else possibly.
Yeah.
But if we're going to say relevant members, I would say probably I feel like the relevant or the other relevant one that maybe people know of is Suki, right?
Yeah. I think it's pronounced Chuki in Korean. Like that. I think that's like
Tsui.
Yeah.
I don't speak Korean or Japanese, so I don't know.
But actually Soohyun is also relevant because she was in 18, and I didn't actually know that when I first like saw Billlie. I had no idea it was the same person.
Is that a group or a show?
A show. It was a web drama.
Oh, okay. Oh, an actress.
Yeah. So those are some people that, you know, might be familiar. And so I was talking about, they just had a release today, and they've had a couple comebacks now, but it honestly to me seems like they haven't had like very many. But I guess that's just because really the most standout one was Ginga Minga Yo, and that was like a long time ago now. But like we talked about it in episode 1. I feel like Billlie doesn't get as much appreciation as some of these other rookies that we're going to be talking about today. And I don't know why, because I think their music is definitely different, and I think their performances are good. Like, we all know that Chuki went viral for her stage presence.
Yeah, I think that they have like a nice, good, fresh like concept vibe attitude thing. Like it's different, but it's not like so differently weird like that they're just trying to get attention sort of thing. It's just like, oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I think that their song that they just released is a Luna vibe in a way. Like, I think the sound of it and the like, they have a strong concept as a group, which I feel like Luna also at least had before things, you know.
I've heard about the things.
But I feel like Billlie has that. So if you don't know Billlie, but you like groups with strong lore or concept, you might want to check out Billlie.
Can you say what the new song is called? Like, can you pronounce the word?
I pronounce it Anoya.
I've listened to it. I did listen to it, and I can say something about it in relation to another song, but we haven't talked about that song yet. We're going to talk about it later. So I feel like maybe I shouldn't say anything about it right now. Like I would just say like, oh well, I liked it better or worse than like, and then I was gonna say another like new release by a girl group, but maybe I'll just say it later.
Okay. Well, was that group that you're going to talk about, was it going to be IVE? Their new release?
Yes.
Should we just move on to IVE? I mean, I feel like you don't really have much to say on Billlie.
Yeah,
so maybe we should move on to IVE.
I know that I like Ginga Minga Yo is like okay to listen to. Like I don't have any Billlie songs on my playlist or anything. You know, it's like there's some groups that I'm like, ew, I do not like their music. Like it's just something I'm not interested in. But Billlie is just sort of like, if it's on, like sure, yeah, sure, that's a vibe. But I'm not like, ooh, I like this, I'm adding it. So I don't have a lot to say. But I will talk about their new song, The Teensiest Bit, and once we talk about IVE's new song as well, I guess.
One last thing about Billlie, I feel like they make like good content, like their vlogs and stuff. I've seen those, and like they're good to watch. Like it's not like, I feel like each member has something to offer, so I feel like it's an easy group for people to find something in.
When I watched Tsuki and Sua on whatever that show was with, you know, Kwang Hee and stuff, when they were the best friends.
Weekly Idol?
Yeah, like that was good. I liked their team a lot.
Yeah, I feel like they've got like good team dynamic over at Billlie, the Billender. Okay, IVE. Let's talk about them. They debuted in late 2021 as well.
Okay, IVE. I remember IVE's first song, 11. Iconic.
Absolutely iconic.
At first, I was like, I don't really care for this. It's a little bit, maybe not slow, but like sometimes I hear songs and I just think like, where is everything? You know, I'm like, it's a little like lacking in like sound or something. But a lot of the times those songs often become bops or iconic after I hear them more than once. So it's not my favorite IVE song that I've heard. I've only heard like the title tracks, or if I guess that's all they have right now. But I've only heard those ones, but that one's not my favorite. But I loved the color palette of the music video.
Okay.
I love the commitment to like the color palette. Like every scene change, they kept the like scenes, the sets, the outfits all like within their vibe of like this like jewel toned blue, jewel toned pink, and like black, white, and gold.
Okay. Well, as far as the members, we have 2 former IZ*ONE members in IVE.
I know one of them, Yujin.
That is correct. The other one being Wonyoung. Now,
oh, I always forget that she was the other IZ*ONE one.
Yeah, IVE, like right away, we knew that they were going to be popular because of the former IZ*ONE members. But did we know they were going to be as popular as they are? I didn't expect it to be that huge, but I think it's deserved.
Yeah, I think they're really great for a rookie group. Like their start has been really strong in terms of content, you know, like songs. Like they don't seem like debut songs.
Yeah, not at all. I have loved every release they've had so far. They have a full album coming out April 10th, and they just released a pre-release single, which we'll talk about in a moment. But other than that, they only had 6 songs, but I mean, they've all been good.
Yeah, so for like title tracks, they've had 11, Love Dive, After Like, and Kitsch, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really had a problem with any of those, and my favorite is probably, I don't know if it's Love Dive or After Like. At first I thought After Like definitely wasn't as good as Love Dive was, but I really like both of those songs.
Yeah, me too. I think if I like picked one, I would pick Love Dive for like everything, the music, like the music video, the song, and the dance, I just like really top tier. And like, you know, the music show wins definitely reflected that. They won so many times with that, but I mean, they keep winning so many times with everything. So at least like you know, a lot of the times groups that should be getting wins don't stand Pentagon.
Oh God.
And groups that win is kind of like why, but with IVE, like I'm getting it. It's making sense to me.
That makes sense. So their new song though, Kitsch. So I watched it, like heard and watched the music video 2 times now, and that's it. So there is still time for it to grow on me. But because oftentimes it happened with Best Friend Ever by NCT Dream. The first time I heard it and watched the music video, I was like, okay, sure, whatever, that's fine. Music video is a little bit weird with the goopy stuffed animal or whatever. But then literally the second time I heard it, when it was on a dance practice that was just like playing, that I wasn't even actually trying to watch, I was like, this is their new song. I'm like, I like this. But I didn't like it the other time. So sometimes that happens with me. So I have only heard it twice, but I would say personally, I haven't really liked this one very much yet. Like this, as of right now, would be my least favorite of the 4 IVE songs that I've heard. And I just really didn't get the concept in terms of the way that I think of the word kitsch. But so what I was going to say earlier was that I liked Billie's new release better than this IVE release. But I've only heard the Billlie song once so far, because they're both very, very new.
Okay. I definitely, you know, I get what you're saying about the kitsch concept not matching what you think of when you hear the word kitsch. But I mean, I told you like already, like
I know, she explained it to me.
I explained like how I think I get what they were going for. Like I see how the concept is matching their stuff in the past, like Love Dive era, and like I feel like I get what they're saying about kitsch and using it as like a message, but I want to say that overall I really love like IVE's concept and like what, like I want to say like just the aesthetic of IVE.
It's very cinema bright lights girly.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Like it is very cinematic. You know, I'm a little bit cautious to say, but I feel like other people have said it before, so I'm gonna just say it totally is like the stuff that The Boys has done, the Gen Z video and the Be Your Own King video.
Oh, okay.
Like totally the way the cinematography of the IVE music videos and like their you know, teaser video things or whatever that are not the actual music videos, especially the Dear Cupid one, those are like literally just like Gen Z videos.
Rip off artists. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You know, I really loved The Boys when, like, I really loved those The Boys videos. So it would only make sense that I think it looks good as like a style.
Yeah. And just like there are a lot of girl groups will have like a very girly concept, but it's more of like a soft it looks more like the soft fluffy pink makeup room set design sort of vibes of like pink girly, but this is, like I said, cinematic because it's more of like, you know, like I said, jewel tones and blacks and spotlight vibe of like girly. So like it definitely, the more I think about it, the more it is different and also like kind of consistent so far. Like different from other people's stuff, but consistent across their stuff.
Yeah, which it is like, I'm glad that so far they're really like sticking to like what is IVE, like to me, like, I mean, that's all that we have to go off of, but you know, they're matching their concept so far.
It seems like there's two options that groups will either go with when they debut. Either they do the, well, I feel like it's maybe not seen as much anymore, but I feel like back in the day, I could name a whole bunch of groups that did that. The 2-2-1 method. You do, well, why am I calling it 2-2-1? It's because I just came up with it right now and it doesn't make any sense. The 1-1-1, the 2-1 method, the first 2 videos that you come out with are like almost exactly the same, like carbon copy, like punch the concept into the people's brains. And then the next one is you get to be different and change it up, like BTS We Are Bulletproof and No More Dream, like exact same thing, you know. And then the next video it's like, okay, now we can do something slightly different. or the other option is you do one concept for your first video and then you do an entirely different concept, like almost the opposite concept for your second video. But that one is actually kind of probably not used as often because people want their group to have a concept in people's minds.
Yeah.
Like ITZY did Icy, and that was their second one. What was the first one?
Dalla
Dalla and Icy. Like, are those not exactly the same?
Yeah, they're similar. Like, but then, you know, Wannabe was completely different. Well, not like completely, but
that's the one. That's the one. This is 2-1 method.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, a lot of people do that, but IVE seems to not really be doing either of those things. It seems more like they're just doing like the 3-1 method.
3-1.
Because this Kitsch one seems the first one that's more different. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I suppose I should also mention that this group, like, I know this group a little bit more than the other group, so I can say that I have like a favorite member.
Okay.
My favorite member is Ray.
Okay. My favorite members are Yujin and Liz, and actually I feel like a lot of people are finally appreciating Liz, but I feel like when they debuted, Liz was kind of the one that was not getting as much attention as the other members, but I'm glad to see that she really seems to be getting some more appreciation for her talent and her variety presence, because she definitely is good on variety shows.
Yeah, I don't know, I've only seen them in a few things. Like IVE, the group, I've only seen them in a few things, but I think Liz is like a top member. Like, she's good. I like her.
I would recommend 1-2-3 IVE to people who are looking to get into IVE. That's their personal variety entertainment program.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They also
6,
do
7.
You make me feel like 11. They also do the recording behinds in that too. So let's move on. We've talked about Billlie. We've talked about IVE. Now we have to talk about Kep1er.
What da.
Kept on going.
Kep1er. Kep1er. How do you spell that?
Kep1er, obviously.
I just wanted you to have to say 1-ER. That is the number 1, everyone, instead of an L.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the name Kep1er?
Me personally, Bevel?
Yes, yeah.
I do not like it.
Yeah, it's terrible. Okay, and next?
So, Kep1er, if you listened to our episode last week, we talked about Boys Planet. We mentioned how there was a Girls Planet. In this episode, we mentioned how somebody from Billlie was on Girls Planet. Kep1er is the group that was formed from the show Girls Planet 999 is the official name. But Kep1er has 9 members, all came from the show Girls Planet.
And so as far as we know or are thinking at this point, it is a temporary group.
Right, I believe it's temporary.
Who are some of the notable members?
Okay, how about you, Jin, former member of CLC?
Ah, yes, someone else who we talked about last episode. And did she get hate for being on the show?
It didn't seem like it.
Oh, God.
We don't promote hate. We're not saying she should have gotten hate. You need to listen to
We're
the last
promoting
week's
equality
episode.
and justice. As in, either hate everyone in that situation or no one. But
no, don't hate.
Well, no, I'm just saying, at least be consistent, right?
Yeah, I guess. We also have Huning Bahie.
What a unique name. That doesn't sound Korean. Who is that?
Well, do you know Huning Kai from Tomorrow by Together, also known as T by T?
Oh my God, that's where I've heard that name before. Huning, that's so familiar.
Well, Huning Bahie is Huning Kai's sister.
Ah, the fabled sister of a famous idol that's already debuted.
Right. So, do you need to talk about that, or are we just going to skim past it?
Well, I'm just going to say, okay? I'm just going to say that the way that everyone talks about it, I didn't watch Girls Planet, and I don't really watch any Kepler stuff, but the way that everyone talks about it is that that Huning Bahie gets absolutely no, like, anything, like, from the group and the people that take photos of her and everything. Like, the injustice is always upon her. But she only got in the group. I mean, it seems, I don't know, okay? But she was not covered on that show, okay? Everyone always talked about how she was never, ever shown on the show. And actually, I think I maybe did see some clips of the show before, and I was like not casual. It was on in the background and I wasn't watching it. It was casually just on. And yeah, she wasn't ever really shown in anything, but she got number 2 in the votes. How could that be, you might ask? How, if they never showed her on the show and she never got any screen time, then how did all these people think to vote for her? Is it perhaps because she had a brother in one of the most famous boy group, like a boy group under one of the most famous companies?
Perhaps.
I'm just saying. Like, and so I don't feel that with Moonbin's sister, but because obviously this was not a similar situation at all. But when I heard about her auditioning on the show and then getting in the group, and getting so highly voted, even though everyone claims that it was such an injustice that her stuff was never on the show, then I'm like, well, then how did you know you liked her?
Before anybody comes for us, we know that they're older. They have an older sister, and she was in K-pop before, or like at least music before even Huning Kai was. So like, we're not, at least I wouldn't want anybody to think that the BlushCat podcast, thinks that, she only wanted, that Huning Bahie only wanted to get into K-pop because she had an easy way in. Like, we're not saying she doesn't actually like music or anything. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted to clarify.
No, I was just saying, like, I just don't get the discrepancy between her amount of showtime on the group versus her voting versus, well, it just so happens that there's this other person that is her sibling that everyone talks about constantly.
Okay. Well, so as for Kepler as a group, they've been around for about a year now, a little over a year, and they have had some songs.
Okay, good way of putting it.
I will say that as far as their titles, my favorite one was their first one, Watata, and I definitely don't think that their other title tracks are something that, I need to constantly listen to. I don't really even like We Fresh at all.
Is that the rock and roll one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not like Kepler's music at all. At least not the title tracks, which would be the ones I would have naturally heard. Watata, I've heard many, many, many times, and it did not ever grow on me. And then We Fresh is literally Watata again. And what's the other one? Up or something like that? Yeah. I feel like that was probably very similar too. Like, they're all just similar in a way that I didn't like. The thing that I don't like the most about Kepler's songs and music, I think, is the sounds in them. Do they have sounds like
yeah.
Ha! Like they make like, I don't know what, but like, do they do like vocal sounds that are like kind of
I I I would believe that they do, but like I can't think in my head if that's.
Yeah, I can't think of what it is, but I
don't
feel like
know.
they have something like that, and I'm like, okay, we get it. Like, I know it's a Kepler song because I'm hearing those sounds.
Yeah, I would agree that they all sound very similar. They have the same vibe, and it's not like my favorite vibe in a song. It's getting boring to me. Uh, I do really like one of their, like, they just released a second Japanese album. Most of it is just like remixes or Japanese versions of their songs that they've already released, but they have one that is new and not the title track, and I like that song, but I can't remember what it's called.
I feel
But-
bad for how many Chinese members do they have?
One.
Because the show, if you remember from last week, we said this already, but the show was like K trainees, J trainees, and C trainees, Korea, Japan, China. And so there's one Chinese member in the group, but like they do, obviously K-pop, so they do like Korean songs, and then they do a lot of Japanese stuff too, but they don't ever really do any Chinese stuff, do they?
Yeah, no. But I've seen Kepler content. I enjoy Kepler content. I'll say that. Like, their
Put it on the record.
Their variety stuff. I've seen some of their behinds too. Those are fine. Like I don't mind them as a group, but it's just the music is lackluster to me. But I feel like a lot of that is because it's so rushed, and I feel bad that they're under week 1. I just I feel like they're trying to get stuff out as fast as they can, and they're not putting effort into their music.
Yeah, like I would say it does seem a little like default or generic. Like it doesn't seem like it has very strong of like a sound or concept. Well, I guess maybe that's where all of the vocal little distinct noises that they do are for.
Mm.
Well, the next group we have to talk about is Le Sserafim, a very French designer sounding, right?
Yes, that's definitely fitting to their model concept that they have.
But what exactly does Le Sserafim mean, or where did it come from?
I'm fearless scrambled up.
That is right. Then what is I'm fearless, though? That's supposed to be a segue into the fact that their first song was I'm fearless,
Oh,
right?
fearless.
Fearless.
Yes.
So their first song is Fearless. Their name is like I'm Fearless, Le Sserafim. When I first heard that song, wait, do they have any notable members?
They do have 2 notable members, both former IVE members, just like 2 of IVE's members.
Oh, competing groups.
Members, did I say that right?
I think so.
Competing groups. So yes, Sakura and Chaewon, former IVE members, are now the Sserafim members.
And they also have like the foreign.
Right. There's a Japanese member.
Wait, there's only one? I thought there were 2.
Well, sorry. I'm very sorry. Sakura is a Japanese member. Right,
but you're thinking of like IVE
right.
vibes, like she was already in K-pop.
Right.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. So they had their first song. Not I'm Fearless, just Fearless.
I would like to point out that Yoonjin is from America. Like, I don't know if she was born in America or if she just lived in America, but like if you're talking about foreign, she has affiliation from outside of Korea.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sometimes I think of people from like America or Canada as foreign members, and sometimes I don't, because it's like if they are part Korean, I don't really,
You don't really what?
think of them as foreign, because it's like they're Korean, it's like they're Korean American, but they're Korean, versus like if someone is from Japan, then I think of them as a foreign member, as in like because they're from Japan.
Right.
But yeah, okay, wow, so a lot of because there's only 5
Yes,
members?
there are only 5 members.
Yeah, so okay, a lot of diversity there. But so one other thing before I talk about their song that I've tried to talk about 5 times now, they were like their whole shtick, right, was HYBE's first girl group, right?
Right.
So it was like, wow, HYBE, they have BTS, which is their boy group. And then they had T by T, and their whole thing was, wow, HYBE's first ever boy group after BTS. Like, they're going to have another group. And then, you know, now they have a lot of groups, technically, because of the whole, like, consolidation. Now, what is it called?
Merge?
Yeah. The whole merge. They have a lot of companies under their roof now. But Le Sserafim was like a HYBE group.
Right. They had absorbed G-Friend, who was Source Music, which Le Sserafim is under Source Music, but that is part of HYBE.
Yeah. So that's just, you know, something to note, that was sort of what they had going for them when they debuted. People were thinking about that. But so they debuted with Fearless, and at first I, once again, was kind of just like, okay, sure, that's a song. But I like that song now. It's very iconic. I totally get it. And they have other songs that were not like, actually they did promote them, didn't they? A little bit.
Yeah.
But their other they only have one other like main release, right? And that's Anti-Fragile? Or am I forgetting one?
No, that's correct.
Okay, because when did they debut? Do you remember?
May 2022.
Oh, okay. So, wow, not even a year old?
Yeah, not even a year old. They've got 2 title tracks, 2 albums with more than just 2 songs each.
I have heard a few of those other songs, but not enough to really remember them. But so out of those 2 main ones, Fearless and Anti-Fragile was their second one, and the first time I listened to it, I was like, I do not really like this song. It is annoying. But no, it's definitely my favorite out of the 2. It is totally a vibe, totally a bop, and I like the like styling sort of concept of it as well.
I definitely really liked Anti-Fragile the first time that I heard it. It took like a couple listens for Fearless to grow on me, but like I was with the dance right away.
Very
so
iconic.
Like it became more of a vibe the more like I watched it. But I will say that their other tracks are really good. They have, you know, they fit the vibe of their like model, like almost like fantasy. I mean, they've got the whole like mermaid type royal model concept going on with their tracks. Like the, you know, the names of their songs are very like
Sour Grapes. Yes, I see.
they're like, you know, medieval in a way.
Okay. So I get what you're saying. Fantasy. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
So I think that, you know, their music in general is pretty good.
Yeah, I really like it too. I think that I've probably seen an pretty close to equal amount of content with them in it, like, you know, like a variety show sort of thing, as I have IVE. And I'd say they're quite comparable. Like I think both groups are enjoyable to watch in those sorts of programs. I think both of them have good concepts, good dances, good songs. Yeah, like I think it's another strong start for Le Sserafim.
I would agree with that, especially like, you know, with members who were in IZ*ONE, they have that experience, especially Sakura. She has so much experience from her Japanese promotions as well. And also Yoonjin was on Produce 48 with the other 2 people who were in IZ*ONE. So, you know, they have a lot going for them.
I would especially like to note that I think Le Sserafim did in like we watched a lot of the like end of the year festival things, so there was a lot of performances happening that were not music stage performances. They were more of like music stage concert hybrid type of performances. And I think Le Sserafim did a really great job on those.
Yeah, me too. They were, you know, delivering something that was like a grander scale than a regular music show stage, which is what's necessary for those festivals, but a lot of people weren't delivering that.
Yeah.
But they actually decided to, you know, add some more unique elements to their performance to make it more exciting, which I appreciated.
Yeah, a lot of groups either tried way too hard and it became a huge jumbled mess of craziness, or they just did like a music show performance and it was like, okay, cool, you just did the exact same thing that we always see, but here.
Yeah. I would like to point out, I feel like a lot of people think that these groups that we've been talking about don't have like strong vocalists or like, I guess, skills in general, but I don't really know where that's coming from because like I mean maybe it's not technically flawless, but I think each member has like, you know, they make the songs sound the way that they sound, and I don't think that they sound bad. And Yoonjin has opera training from Sserafim, and as far as IVE goes, like I think that Liz's voice has like a lot of really good potential as a main vocalist. Like not every group is going to have like, you know, like a Hui.
Or I was gonna say our Wendy.
Yeah, or like a Wendy.
Like Red Velvet tries to sort of flaunt that power vocal sort of aspect. But yeah, I think it's sort of more of a trend right now, it seems like, to have more of a like tone, like a stylized sort of I don't know if I want to use the word tone, but like that's all I can really think of right now. Like the songs don't have to be good just because everyone is belting out notes. They're using specific tones of singing that are like giving vibes, you know?
Yeah. Like if you like that kind of, you know, strong vocal showcasing, SM groups are probably for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is probably why I don't ever really like any of the groups that SM has. But yeah, I've always been annoyed when people think that people aren't good singers or like good, you know, at music just because they don't have as big of a range as other people. You know, everyone always wants to say like Ariana Grande, you know, oh my god, she's amazing because of these notes that she can hit. But and then they'll say like, oh, Selena Gomez, she can't sing because like she does, but she just sings in a different like range. She just has a different tone that she uses, and that makes good music too if that's the kind of music that you like. So yeah, just to say though that like that doesn't mean that everyone is going to be a good singer though, and every vocal tone is going to be likable. Because sometimes they still aren't. I'm very, very particular actually about vocal tones. Like I said, I don't know if that's the right exact way that I would want to word it, but like sometimes people sound like they're singing in a voice that I really don't like. But anyway, so these next two groups we put at the end for a reason. They sort of go together, so it's not really exactly chronological order anymore. This next group debuted around February 2022, and that is Nmixx.
Nmixx is a group under JYP. They have Twice, they have ITZY, they have Nmixx. They had Wonder Girls, stuff like that, Miss A, you know, JYP. Girl groups are going to be popular, and Nmixx seems to be fairly popular.
I'm just now wondering, did they make Nmixx because they thought that ITZY fell off?
I don't know.
Because everybody hates ITZY now. I really don't understand it. Like, hot take, but I still like ITZY songs.
Yeah,
we're not talking about ITZY though, so sorry. Nmixx. How do we feel about Nmixx songs?
Well, you know how you were saying that you're not gonna like every vocal tone?
Yeah.
Well, Nmixx vocal tones aren't really my style, and the songs themselves aren't really my style. I feel like this is going to get me like a lot of like people thinking I have absolutely no idea what I'm listening to, because I think that it sounds like American country music.
How do you feel about their style?
Which I do not like. It's not my style.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say that I agree with everything that you've said. Except I will say I have seen a little less of them, maybe. I'm not really sure. Probably the same amount. Basically, the most of what I have to go off of is their performances at those end of the year shows. So they weren't even like a year old yet when they were doing those, but still, they were at a lot of them. And it wasn't a no for me.
Yeah, and like we were just talking about, I feel like people criticizing, those other vocalists are praising a lot of the Nmixx vocalists, or at least one vocalist in particular, which is somebody that like I don't like hearing those notes. So maybe those are technically good notes, but I don't care for it.
That's like how I feel about like Red Velvet. Not to be mean to Red Velvet, like Red Velvet's music 1,000 times better than Nmixx, like in terms of me like wanting to listen to it or leave it on. Like I'm not saying I hate Red Velvet, but whenever it gets to the end of a Red Velvet song and they're doing all the that stuff, I'm always like, okay, this is not enjoyable to me. Like I just don't like that sound, like vibe in songs.
See, I feel like I think it works for Red Velvet, but I'm not getting the vibe with Nmixx.
And maybe this is saying too much, but is the person that you're talking about the Nmixx girl?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Because there's this one girl, and she looks like a boy on Boys Planet. Well, like, she looks like herself. And then there's a boy on Boys Planet that I would call the Nmixx boy because I thought he looked like the girl from Nmixx. If you know, you know. Yeah,
there's probably like 3 ubiquitous people in Nmixx. Like I could only recognize 3 Nmixx members, and she is one of them.
Yeah.
But we've seen Nmixx on like the Isaac.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, keep experiencing that. We've seen them at the end of the year festivals, didn't care for those performances, and I've seen like one of the members in this other video. Well, actually, like I've seen 2 other instances of this one other member, and I definitely like her personality seemed not for me.
Like I hope it doesn't sound too mean. Maybe it's just their concept. But, like, whenever they were up on stage, it seemed like they were, like possessed porcelain dolls.
Oh.
Well, no, like, I'm just saying, didn't they have, like, their clothing? Wasn't it kind of, like, weirdly, like,
yeah,
like porcelain dolls, but that are wearing, like, not the right thing? Like, their outfits were all mismatched and weird, and then they were, like, because, like, aespa had the concept of being, like, emotionless, but it was in more of, like, an android way. The Nmixx vibe to me that I got just from that a little amount that I've seen was, like, kind of, like, emotionless in, like, a possessed porcelain doll sort of way. Do you get what I'm saying?
I will say that I do get where you're coming from, yes.
So yeah, I'm not necessarily saying like that is what those people are like, but like on their stage performances, that seemed kind of like the concept, and it creeped me out a little bit.
And yeah, I'm probably not even giving Nmixx a fair enough chance because I don't watch their content. I hardly like I try to avoid their music because I don't care for it.
Yeah.
So that's probably all that we should say about Nmixx. We don't have much to say about Nmixx.
Sorry, mixers. I don't know what the Nmixx fans are called.
Isn't that a Little Mix fan or something?
Oh.
Well, let's talk about the last group. Move on to the last group we're going to talk about today, which is NewJeans.
NewJeans, the biggest, newest, most popular, blown up group of the entire K-pop existence.
Literally.
At least that's what you would think if you ever literally tried to use YouTube in any capacity, in any place, in like the first, 3-4 months that they debuted.
Yeah. If you literally tried to consume any other K-pop content that is not NewJeans, that's probably the same conclusion you'd come to as well.
Yeah, so, well, okay. They're also HYBE, right?
Yeah.
So NewJeans is a HYBE girl group, and they debuted, do you know when?
July 2022.
Wow, okay. So it's pretty new, except for the fact that it seems like they've been around for 15 eons, because they've got like 200,000 songs already.
It's like they do, but they don't. Like they probably have the same amount as IVE. Like they just promote every single one.
Yeah, they promote every single one. They had a music video for every single one. I mean, it's what it seems like. So they had Attention. Then they had Hype Boy, and then I don't know the order for the rest, but there was Cookie, Ditto, OMG. You've probably heard at least one of those songs if you use TikTok. Apparently, one of those is really, one or more are really big on TikTok right now.
I think that like the only other song they have is Hurt or something like that.
Okay, Hurt. Yeah. So they've got all those songs, and they've got all these music videos, and no matter what, the like algorithm is throwing it in your face, even if you never clicked on it before.
Yeah, even if you literally, like, if you're trying to actively avoid NewJeans, I don't know if you're succeeding or not, because it's going to be thrown in your face no matter what.
Yeah, and so here I am trying to be a good citizen of this world, trying to be a good host for my podcast that's going to be coming back soon, you know? And so I'm like, okay, there's a new group out, a new girl group. Let me check out their video, right? Let me check out their single. New group, fresh group, let's see it. So they come out with Attention. I click on the video, I watch it. And I was like, excuse me, what the heck am I watching?
And why is that?
Well, because it looked like a whole bunch of toddlers running around a club.
It was a very shocking video. I didn't expect when you said to watch it. I didn't know what I was getting into, and I was surprised.
Like, I just found it so shocking because, first of all, they looked so young, and one of them was 14. The rest of them were like slightly older. I think they were about like 16 to 18 years old, the other members. But there was confirmed, I looked it up yesterday, one of the members was 14 when they, around the time that they debuted. So yes, like a baby. And they looked young, and they were like starting the video in this sort of like club vibe of like a la American teen movie. Which is shocking for two reasons. One, because, like I said, these look like children. But two, because when do you ever even see that concept in K-pop? Like, it's not a very, not a very popular concept in general. And so then to do that concept with your group that has, like, people that look like children in it, it just was so weird to me.
It's definitely a weird direction to go with any K-pop group, especially, like, that young of a group.
Yeah, and so that was like, well, I mean, that was like the start of the music video, and then it got to be like a la Mac Z from Dance Moms sort of vibes at the end, which was like, like kid music, like kids bop vibes. And so it was just very weird to have both of those concepts in the same music video for 3, whatever number we're on now. And then for 4, I just really, I'm so sorry, but I did not like the song at all. Like I said, this song that I'm talking about is Attention. And the part where it's like, attention, like for 20 years, it's not pleasing for me to listen to that note being held out for that amount of time. Like, I don't think that sounds good.
I don't, like, I don't know what it is that makes people love NewJeans so much.
It's a social experiment.
I really think it might be.
So yeah, that's basically what it boils down to me is like I cannot support them right now because it's a social experiment. I refuse to fall into that trap.
Okay.
like Like, I remember when ITZY first debuted, and I was like, no way. Like, there is no way I'm watching
Yeah.
ITZY stuff. If it's a girl group by JYP, like, I do not like Twice's concept. I can't stand the Twice music, like the tones that they use. I hate it. I don't like the cutesy stuff, so I'm not gonna watch ITZY. But now ITZY is my favorite girl group, so I get it. Like, down the road, maybe I could like NewJeans, but right now, with the marketing scheme, with them looking like they're 2 years old, and the songs that they've released that I've heard, all those things, like, I'm not interested in NewJeans right now, and it seems like the entire rest of the world is.
Yeah.
And it's weird too, because, well, not weird, but like, I just feel like a lot of people, like, so all of the other people in the industry seem like they really support NewJeans, and it's like, okay, I get it, because they're so young. Everyone knows that this group is so young. They want to support them because they're like, I know what it was like when I debuted when I was young, right?
Right.
But then there's like the general public that is like, going crazy over them. And for some of those people, I feel like they are just seeing like the trendy TikTok side of things. They're not really seeing like the NewJeans music videos, the NewJeans stage performances. They're seeing like the NewJeans songs being used in TikTok and the TikTok dance challenges and that sort of stuff, and they just think it's like a TikTok vibe, and they don't get the like other sort of like weird vibe that it's like, really, this is the group, this is the concept and everything that you're going with right now.
Yeah, I feel like when NewJeans like first debuted, I feel like I was seeing a lot of people being like, this group seems like they seem really young, even if maybe some of the members are like, not too young. Like, they seem like a young group, but we don't want to support debuting people that are that young, so
Right.
let's kind of not not really pay attention to NewJeans, but they were looking for attention, and now everybody is supporting them. Like, I'm like, what happened to everybody like thinking, oh, this is a little bit too young?
Right, yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really get it.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll get it.
Maybe one day. But I definitely will say that I do not like Attention, and I do not like Hype Boy. Those are the only songs that I've actually heard. Like, I've heard a clip or a smidgen of some of the other ones, but I didn't hear them. And I only saw the Attention music video. I never saw any of the other music videos, because it just took the one thing for me to be like, yeah, this is weird and I don't like this, and it's not something I want to watch.
Yeah, I've only seen the Attention video once, and that's the only video I've seen.
Well, and we've
seen I guess I think I've seen the Hype Boy video, sorry.
We've seen them, at the festivals. So we've seen them perform on stage, and that was odd as well, I'd say. They just seemed like definitely newbies. Like, they definitely seemed newly debuted. Like, they didn't have the stage presence yet to be at one of those huge, gigantic festival things.
Yeah. Okay, that's all we're going to be talking about today. I hope that you enjoyed hearing what we have to say about K-pop rookies that maybe aren't technically rookies anymore, but who knows.
And remember that our opinions are always subject to change.
Correct. If you did enjoy our discussion thoughts, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on the notifications, and also like the video if you enjoyed it.
And if you're not listening on YouTube, you can follow us on any of the listening platforms for podcasts.
Right. Thanks for listening. This has been Bevel.
And me. Bye.
Meow 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 meow